Have you ever experienced that unsettling feeling when a text hits a blue receipt and they don't reply? Or that shock when everyone was invited to their wedding but you? Feels bad, right? You tell yourself, get over it. But here's the thing. Your brain isn't being dramatic. Your brain is trying to keep you alive.
Let's decode why our ancestral, prehistoric brain mistakes a cold shoulder for a lethal death sentence.
Look, for our ancestors on the savannah 50,000 years ago, separation from the tribe was a literal death sentence. If the tribe cast them out, they were forced to face both predators and hunger alone. This is why our biology developed a neural alarm system in our brains, which detects all threats to our social standing.
This alarm is located in our brain's dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, or dACC. It works like a smoke detector. As soon as it senses something's wrong, it immediately sets off a very unpleasant and very loud alarm to grab our attention. Our brain translates this alarm into the literal physical ache of social rejection. And when I say physical, I mean it literally. Research has found that hurt feelings due to social rejection and physical injury actually use the same neural pathways. There is a reason we use words like heartbroken, hurt, or scarred to describe our feelings. That is not a mere metaphor. Our brains are hardwired to feel the same physical pain when we don't get that reply.
In order to understand just how real our social alarm is, scientists created a basic virtual game called Cyberball. It was a simple computer ball game where you played with two other people online. At first, everything went perfectly, and everyone was included in the game.
Then, out of nowhere, the vibe changed. Both players just stopped throwing the ball to the participant, completely ignoring him. Although it was a mere online game, the brain smoke detector, the dACC, suddenly started ringing. Now, what I am going to tell you is going to leave you stunned. Since social and physical pain are so interconnected, scientists wondered whether physical painkillers, like paracetamol, can fix a broken heart. Now, I want to be very clear. This is not medical advice. I am only reflecting on this specific research to prove how literal this connection is. In one famous 2010 study, researchers told the participants to take acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, every day for 3 weeks. What they found was incredible. The participants who took painkillers daily experienced a drastic reduction in hurt feelings compared to the placebo group. Their brains literally became less sensitive to social rejection because their dACC was dampened by the drug. By quieting the smoke detector, they literally made the sting of exclusion less severe. This is strong evidence that the brain takes hurt feelings not as a metaphor, but as physical pain that would be chemically numbed. Now, you might be thinking, why do I feel this so much more than my friends do? Well, it might be in your DNA. There's a specific gene called OPRM1. Research has found that people with a certain variation of this gene, the G allele, have a hyperactivated social pain system. If you have this variant, your brain's smoke detector is set to a higher sensitivity, making you more prone to feeling the sting of rejection. So why does this matter? Because we are living with an evolutionary lag. We're using this 50,000-year-old survival hardware to navigate a 2026 digital world. Your heart rate spikes and your stomach drops because your ancient brain thinks that a quiet group chat means you're about to be left for the lions. Understanding the biology is only half the battle. Now, we need to figure out how to pull ourselves out of this caveman in a hoodie mentality. And look, the first thing you need to realize is that you aren't helpless here. You aren't just a victim to these biological alarms. You just need to override the code. There are 3 ways we can do exactly that: a social remedy, the psychologist's way, and the philosophical way. And yes, you can use all 3. Let's start with some sociological real talk. I call this the tribe switch. Back on the savannah, if your tribe rejected you, game over. You couldn't just wander off and find another group. You were completely trapped. But today, the story is totally different. We live on a planet with 8 billion people. The fastest way to kill the sting of rejection is simply to find a different tribe, a group that actually gets you and accepts you for who you are.
See, if you don't fit in at your office, or you feel like an outsider in your current friend group, your brain panics. It genuinely believes this is the last tribe on Earth. But sociologists will tell you that's a total lie. You aren't being exiled from society. You're just in the wrong room.
The best advice a sociologist can give you is this: stop trying to bend yourself out of shape to fit a tribe that doesn't appreciate you. Instead, just switch tribes. It could be an online community, a niche hobby group, or a local volunteer organization. Finding a space where you are actually valued sends a massive, safe signal straight to your nervous system. The moment you find your real people, that internal survival alarm finally hits the mute button. It breathes a sigh of relief because it realizes the threat of being left alone is officially over. But look, if you are feeling that heavy social sting right now, in this exact moment, here are 4 research-backed ways to tell your brain to chill out. Psychologists call this cognitive reappraisal, but let's just call it being your own IT support. When your stomach drops because a group chat suddenly goes dead, you need to talk to your brain like it's a glitchy app. Literally tell yourself, my internal smoke detector is screaming over burnt toast, not a house fire. By calling it a false alarm, you're forcing your brain to shift the workload from your emotional panic center to your logical adult brain. It's all about building internal sovereignty, which is just a fancy way of saying you decide that a stupid digital signal doesn't get to ruin your day.
You don't need a massive party or a huge squad to feel included again. There's this concept called the belonging regulation model, which basically says you can trick your brain with social surrogates. Think of it like social snacking. Research shows that just looking at a photo of someone you love, or even holding a warm mug of hot chocolate, can quiet the pain centers in your brain. Seriously, scientists found that even looking at a picture of your favorite fictional character works. It's like eating a quick granola bar for your soul. It keeps your mood stable until you can get a full meal of real connection later.
Sometimes the absolute best move is to literally do nothing. Patience is an actual biological tool. Remember that Cyberball game study? Scientists found that after people got left out, their self-esteem and mood naturally bounced back on their own after about 45 minutes. Your brain has an automatic reboot sequence that pulls you back to normal if you just give it a second. So if you feel yourself starting to spiral, set a timer for 45 minutes. Chuck your phone in a drawer, go do something else, and let your biology do its thing. Finally, the fastest way to feel voted back onto the island is to remind your brain that you actually matter to people. This is called social reconnection theory. All you have to do is one tiny kind act. Send a thinking of you text or a funny meme to a friend, one who actually replies. Or do a quick favor for someone at home. Researchers found that helping others gives your social brain a massive hit of dopamine. It's a quick burst of happiness that can literally double your sense of well-being, right when you need it most. Now, if your brain still isn't fully buying into the whole evolutionary lag thing, there's a philosophical way to look at this. The ancient Stoics had a concept called Amor Fati, loving your fate. They believed that you cannot control how other people treat you. You can only control your response. When someone ignores you digitally, the philosopher looks at the screen and says, "This silence is not my enemy. It is a space for me to return to myself." Instead of viewing a slow reply as exile from the tribe, view it as an unexpected moment of absolute freedom. You are no longer performing for the crowd. You are just you. At the end of the day, you are not a helpless caveman stranded on a dangerous savanna anymore. You are a modern human holding a piece of glass, listening to a 50,000-year-old false alarm. The next time your stomach drops over a blue receipt, take a deep breath, smile at your glitchy prehistoric brain, and remember,
You aren't dying. You're just waiting on a text. If you want to keep decoding the strange glitches of the human mind with us, hit that subscribe button. Because the moment you start decoding these hidden biological patterns, you finally stop blaming yourself and start truly understanding your mind. I'll see you in the next video.